And hello, everybody. This is Chris from the Stewart Buzz.
Are we live?
Yes, we are. Live and recorded. By the way, just to give you a heads up, this podcast is about annoying customers. People who ask absolutely silly questions. For instance, no joke, just 2 minutes ago, and I hope this lady sees this, she called up and she says, "Do you sell holy water?" I'm like, "Well, ma'am, we have Florida water, and people use that as kind of a holy water."
Are you kidding me? Is this a joke? Really? You think that's the way?
Ma'am, I'm just telling you what they do. I mean, holy water, that means the priest goes over it and does the whole cross thing. And, I don't want to get into the religious part of it, but holy water, whatever. All you have to do is say, "Oh, no, I'm just looking for holy water. Thank you." Instead, you are rude and mean and annoying. So go somewhere else and get your holy water. If you're that, just go to a church. Shouldn't they give it?
I don't think so.
They just don't hand out holy water?
No.
You have to pay for it?
I don't know. We used to have a fountain
Right.
that you would go in and you would and it was just a fountain
Right. And that fountain is holy. Why?
because it's in a church.
Oh, a church.
To my own knowledge, if somebody has
But a church is a gathering of people talking about religion. That's what a church is.
Right.
So I can take my tap water and, that could be holy water because if we talk about religion at home, you can have a church. But the annoying things that people do, they just called up. She was extremely rude. If anybody would like to call her back, her number is, just kidding, I'm not really doing it. But the first name would be Joe. Ma'am, if you're listening to this, bite me. I don't like people who are rude like that. So I had a customer come in who has frequented this store a few times. She came in today after having a hiatus of about 6 months because she said she was busy. No problem. She insisted on talking to every customer that came into the store. And while she's doing that, people would come in with stuff off the rack. And she said, "Oh, I'll take that. It's $30." I said, "No, it's $20. And she doesn't work here. One of the ladies that she used to come here. And she says, "Well, you need to be more open." I'm like, "I don't need you to pretend that you're working here and tell the customers that you're working here and you're taking the clothes off the rack for them, that you just don't do that. I mean, some people don't like that." And she couldn't understand that. She couldn't understand that. I don't know what to tell you. If you don't understand that I work there, you don't. And she just wouldn't stop talking. I'm trying to converse with the lady. And she just kept on talking and talking.
We get that a lot.
So I looked at the lady that I'm helping, and I said to her, "Ma'am, she doesn't shut up, just so you know." And she looked at me, she rolled her eyes. She's like, "Man, like how do you deal with stuff like that?" It's a little difficult. We do have people that do that and just don't stop talking.
I think it's because when people do come into the store, we're like, when you come in here, you're family, but there's still boundaries when it comes to family. Like, let's not forget.
True. Yes. Please do not forget. So if you don't understand the boundaries, I'll make them very clear to you right now. Shut up. Talk when you're spoken to, because that's what my mother used to say to me.
Yeah.
But no, seriously though, if I'm having a conversation with a customer, don't have a conversation over us, to us, that has nothing to do with you. The bottom line. If you're going to call, be polite to us because we are polite to you. I simply answered a question that the lady had asked. She didn't like the answer, but you don't have to be mean. I said Florida water people do use for cleansing. Fact or not
Right.
fact? I mean, they do use that.
Yeah, absolutely. I use
I
it.
mean, it's all
Yeah.
the time
I
too.
have it on my
It's
desk.
right there. I see it right here.
You see it right
I
there?
see it right there. It's right
There it
there.
is,
There it
right
is. Hi.
there.
So it's there, and the laws the lady could,
Right.
all the lady should have said was, "Oh no, I'm just looking for Struck Holy Water." But thank you so much for your time. You have a blessed day. Instead, it's like with an absolute Brooklyn accent. Like, are you kidding me? Are you really kidding me right now? Mind you, she sounded like she was 85, and she needed holy water badly, badly. So I'm saying, yeah, you go get your holy water, and you might want to talk to a minister or a priest at the same time because you definitely need some help. And again, with the over speaking, there are people that come into the store that don't want to be bothered. They do. They want to shop.
100%.
They want to
They
shop.
just
They
want to
want to,
vibe out. Yeah, they just want to.
right. And my words to them when they come in, hi, if you need anything, please let me know. And that's it. If they seem more friendly, more conversational type person, I'll say, hey, you from around here? Are you visiting? I see that you're dressed inappropriately for really cold weather. Are you from up north? Because that's kind of a joke, though, because I'm wearing a sweatshirt right now and I'm still cold. But we do things like that. But there are people like that when you go into the tarot section and the oracle section, leave them alone because they're trying to focus on which one they want.
Right.
They're really trying to figure it out. And then we have some people that just won't leave them alone. Some people just say, man, just I really need to get to work. Just let me pick my cards. That's all I'm here for. And
I feel like we've had to do that so many times with people that come in, and it's just like there's people we have to like protect people at the same time. Like we're like protecting our customers from like other customers, and like I feel like that is just because I mean you have to know too, like as much light as you hold is as much darkness as you attract, and sometimes we get people who are just kind of want the energy from right. Like
yes,
you call it like energy vampires.
I was just going to use that word. Although I don't really
I didn't
believe
want to
in
be,
vampires, I have silver bullets in my gun.
but it's like it's just somebody who is just needing that attention all the time, like it's
I'll believe it or not, I only have a conversation with somebody if they act and have the energy that they want to converse. That's what it is.
that's what I do.
There was a guy wearing a hat outside with something on the side of it. It was a drawing, and I didn't know what the drawing was. I just simply asked him what the drawing was.
Drawing,
Yeah, it was of a koi fish.
drawing,
A drawing.
drawing,
Drawing.
draw.
When you draw and you show somebody, it is a drawing.
You said drawing.
Drawing. That's exactly the way it's said. Everybody, please, say that I am saying it
Drawing.
incorrectly or say I'm saying it right.
Drawing
and that Kaylee
or
is
drawing?
clearly under some high medication right now, because
Actually,
I am
take
saying
any
it.
medication
I
today.
am saying it the right way.
Okay.
There was a seminar yesterday, Virginia. If you're watching, don't make me have to. Well, anyway, let's move on. So, weird things that people call about, weird things that people say when they're
Or
in the
do.
store or do. I have a few, and then we'll switch it over
Yeah.
to you, or ladies can go first. It's totally up to you.
Don't matter to me.
All right, then I would say ladies go first
Okay.
while I drink my water. Gotta
Well,
stay hydrated. It's Florida.
I feel like That's the ASMR.
That's
ASMR? What is that called?
Yeah.
ASMR?
I know I was just doing it because I just wanted you guys to calm down.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
Oh my God, that's very important. You should put him on speaker.
no.
Oh, put
So,
him on speaker.
so I'm not getting a phone call.
Oh, that's just a picture.
Yeah, it's just a picture.
Oh.
But honestly,
Spot.
I feel
Wait,
like
she said spot.
are we getting to
Spot.
are we going to talk about what it is?
We go.
Or are you going first?
No, you're going first.
All right.
Go ahead.
So I would
Spot.
say there's a couple weird things. Quite a few, honestly. I probably have to think about it, but because it happens all the time. But I think a couple things is like when people come in, and again, it's doing that thing to other people in the store where it's like, let me see your palm, or like, let me read you, like your aura, or like I have people like I'll literally walk out of the reading space and people will be like, can you read my energy, like, or can you read my mind, and like, you know, do that thing where they think it's like entertainment or something, where they're like, read my mind, and like I'm like, no,
So,
that's not how it works. Like,
that is very true. I actually have had people come to me and so you're Chris? You're the guy that I read about in all the reviews and stuff. I'm saying that. I'm Chris, yeah. Why? Can you tell me a little something about myself? Just give me a little snippet of what you do. Tell me. Come on, do it. Ma'am, sir, I am not a circus sideshow. That's not
right.
something that I do.
We just don't do things like that. Like it, like, you know, I feel like if it's necessary, like, you know, that would happen, like where things would come up and whatnot. But like people just, it's like, I don't know, like people think it's like for show or something, you know, or like they'll come up and they'll take our customer's hand and be like, let me read your palm, you know, and like this. And it's just like, what are you doing?
So,
You can't
first
just
of
come
all,
up and touch people like it, like, I don't know, it's like boundaries again.
well, there is a dude that I pretty much kicked him out of the store until he promised me that he wasn't going to do it anymore. He would walk up to the customers and say, "Can I feel your aura?" Well, I didn't feel comfortable with him going up to strangers and feeling their aura.
Yeah.
So I pulled him aside and I said, that's not going to happen again, because he's doing Tai Chi in the middle of the store. Just randomly, like in the middle of nowhere, just doing Tai Chi. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? I'm doing Tai Chi. I said, dude, you don't know effing Tai Chi, okay? Oh, I read a video. I watched a video on it. Oh, yeah. Okay, master. No Tai Chi in the middle of the store. Don't ask people to feel anything or you to feel anything of theirs. Then the story continues because the person then follows people outside and talks to them outside. Or he'll follow them to their car. I mean, there is nothing more scary than a dude following a woman to their car and won't leave them alone. You just don't do that.
Well, it's just like people in general. Like if somebody is
Yeah, I
just
don't
like
care where you
clearly like wanting space, like just you know, it's that energy vampire thing that we were talking about. It's like needing that like I just think that that's, you know, uncomfortable, you know? Like, and that's where we've really had to protect people in our store because it's like we do get that a lot, you know? And like we know how to deal with it, right? But not a lot of people that come in know how to deal with it, you know? And they actually struggle with that. And so it's important that we do like have to, you know,
Intervention.
yeah, it's like we have to intervene, like, hello, like, no.
And yet they still don't get it sometimes. So I'm trying to, it's like, I said one word, one name, but she knows that we joke around with her like that. But I mean, there are some people that are seriously, there was a dude that came in years ago that he called himself the medicine man.
Oh, we
Okay.
talked about that.
I mean, on air?
Yeah, but I don't know if the video deleted or not.
Oh, I
But you
don't
did
know.
talk about it.
So he called themselves the medicine man. Well, you know what? You're not a freaking medicine man, okay? You're a dude that thinks he's a medicine man. That's out of his freaking mind. Um, Somebody's take, oh yeah, but I do ayahuasca. No, dude, you do drugs and you trip and you see things that aren't there. Okay, fine, cool. You want to do that? Go for it. Do it. You want to call it a spiritual retreat, whatever you want to do, that's fine. But you know, anybody that does mushrooms or anything like that, I don't necessarily think you're doing it to, like, you know, speak to Peter that passed. You know, you may disagree with that, but I think that whole ayahuasca thing is a scam. Because the retreat part. Have you ever done
I
that?
think, well, no, here's what I believe. I believe, again, there's good and, you know, there's fake and not fake and everything. And it's like a psychic, right? So, like, there's ayahuasca ceremonies that are, like, in the jungle. Like, they've been doing it for, like, centuries. Like, it's a very old, like, medicine. But then there's people who are taking it and using it for, like, a new age retreat and inviting in people and like that sort of thing, where I think that is more so taking people's money and like a scam and stuff like that, you
I
know, like.
think that is the more norm today than it would be
Well, I think that's
25, 30 years ago. So, for instance, the American Indian tribes, they, you know, lots of times before they do their powwows and stuff, they're on peyote and they're like
right.
high as a kite because they go to a second level of these dances. I don't know if you've ever been to one. I have. I had to go to one every year with my parents. And it was the Shinnecock Indian tribe in Long Island. I can't say in Long Island. I think it's on Long Island. You don't live in the island, you live on the island. But anyway, and then they would dance for hours upon hours, and they are, it's amazing to watch. But I know, just even from knowing Eddie Running Horse, of how people party on the reservations. My cousin lived on a reservation, and you know it's it's a different animal. But what people are trying to do now is, like, in the middle of nowhere, have these ayahuasca retreats, and all I hear is, "Oh my God, it was amazing! I saw these like." Like
I mean, I feel like you wouldn't know until you experience, like, I haven't experienced ayahuasca,
But
but
I've
I
experienced
think,
acid.
yeah, but
Okay.
that's way different
Is
than
it really? Is it
ayahuasca.
really?
It really
Tell
is,
me how.
because it's man-made.
Mescaline
It's
is
made in a lab. Acid is made in a lab.
mescaline is made in a lab. Yes.
If you do a
Mushrooms.
mushroom trip, it is way different than an acid
I
trip.
wouldn't know that because you know what? I'm not doing them.
Right. And I'm telling you, it's a different trip. So like
Okay.
that would be different
So you're
also
not
from,
hallucinating. You're actually seeing these creatures.
I'm sure like when you go into, so, I mean, and that goes for like any, like there's a difference in different things. Like I said, I haven't done ayahuasca, so I have no room to talk on ayahuasca because I haven't been there.
It's my belief system.
Do I believe? Yeah, right. So it is your belief system.
Go ahead. I was just making people relax.
I forget.
I mean, you told me to do it. That it makes people relax. I'm just trying to make them relax. So you're telling me
I think it is a belief system, you know,
that
but
ayahuasca is real and that people are seeing real either demons or people are seeing real ghosts that come in front of them. And
yeah, but people can use the word ghost for like a different meaning if they mean like spirit, or they can mean ghost, you know,
same
like,
thing. They're the same thing,
right,
by
the
the
same
way.
thing, but it's just the different language. So they may sound crazier because of the things that come out of their mouth and the things that they say, but maybe they mean something that's,
But do you think that they saw spirits because they saw spirits?
well, when you go into, it really is, you're going, I mean,
Did you
from what
always
I've
have that in
heard
your
from
nose?
people, yes.
Sorry. I just saw it. I just noticed it. I don't know what to tell you. I didn't know. Maybe I always look for you on the other side.
Yeah, I've had it.
I don't believe it. Go ahead. Maybe I just took mushrooms and I'm just hallucinating that it's there. All right. So you believe in it. You believe ayahuasca is real.
Like,
And I believe that now that you have this amazing spiritual journey, you're a totally different person. Is that right?
I told you, I never did ayahuasca before, but I have no room to judge it if I've never done it.
But you know people that have.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So what I'm asking you is, are they now holier than thou and all cured and fixed
No, but I don't
because they
think,
took ayahuasca?
I don't believe all people are saying they're holier than thou. I think what they're saying is their ego basically died, and they had faced a lot of stuff. So like I know a lot of people that I've talked to personally, maybe different than people you've talked to, but people I've talked to is where it's like they kind of had like an ego death, which is like literally like they had to come in, they had to face things like there's things that came up that like are their biggest fears, and they had to face that. So when you come out of something like that, it can change a person.
But was it their subconscious that what they were dealing with
Probably.
versus a entity that they were dealing with?
Yeah, yeah.
So
Like I said, it's just different language. You know what I
they just
mean?
made themselves more aware of themselves.
I feel like so what a demon is really it's a lower frequency, right? So fear, shame, guilt, grief, like those are what demons are. They're not like actual physical like spirit. I don't think they're spirits. Like I think that's what people mean when they see these. I mean, I don't know. I've never seen a demon. Have you seen a demon?
No, I don't believe in demons.
No. So I think the thing is,
Oh,
is
wait,
like
wait, wait. I do have a sister, though. I do have a sister that's a demonish. Can you answer that? I can't answer it because you're on mute right now. But I can't answer that because people actually hear the person on the phone. That's how sensitive these microphones are. But like demons, people are so interested and think that demons exist when honestly, I'm not saying that they don't exist in that person's head because I would believe that they do. Like that lady that called up today and looking for holy water, and what I said to her wasn't satisfactory. All she had to do was say, okay, thank you for your time, have a blessed day. But no, she was all about it. Are you kidding me, you son of a, like she didn't curse at me or anything, but I mean, it had that tone that you would do. And so, like, even with the person that came in today and told me, if you do this, all the water you drink, you should just put salt on the tip of it. I'm sure that was an alcoholic drink at one point. I don't know. I'm just wondering why the microphone was like that. So anyway, I said to her, why are you putting salt on it? She was actually telling one of my customers to do this. The customer looked at her and said, well, why would I put salt on it? She said, well, that's what my doctor told me. I said, oh, ma'am, don't put salt on your water. Okay. I told the girl that I said to put salt on the water that you probably consume more sodium than your body ever needs on a daily basis. I'm sorry, but I mean, Americans have a lot of sodium in their foods, and I eat pretty healthy, and I'm sure I consume more sodium than I should. Why would I put, first of all, I don't use regular salt anyway. So I think the whole scamming thing, I'm not saying all ayahuasca people are scammers by any means. And I'm not saying all the people that did ayahuasca are phonies and just people who want to get high. I am not. But I believe, number one, that you do trip when you're doing it, and tell me that I'm wrong, and I'm cool with that if you do. I'm to anybody wanting to come sit in this chair and have a debate, whether it helped them or it didn't help them, or if it did, that's fantastic. If it didn't, okay, no problem. Kaylee's back. Oh my God! So here we are. And then when I unmute her mic, everything's good, Kaylee? Nothing traumatic or dramatic? Anything you want to share with us?
Turn the sound back was
What kind of sound? What kind?
time the sound bath was.
Oh, so I was saying that the ayahuasca, I'm not saying that it's fake or real. I'm sure there are very legit people who do this. It does involve tripping, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got that down. Now, I was not a dude that did a lot of tripping. I mean, I did it once in my life. And the walls did breathe. They were pretty cool.
That's acid.
Started to go like
Everything
this.
breathes.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
So I remember at 2 o'clock in the morning, I was like walking down the street, and there was this really loud, echoing whistling, almost similar to Mayberry RFD, for you older folks that know what I'm talking about. Andy Griffith, Ron Howard. Dun-dun-dun. Dun, 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 dun. Well, anyway, okay, fine, I'm weird. But that whistling was really loud. And I'm looking all around. I'm like, that's even near me. How could I hear this whistling? There's nobody even near me. Then I stopped and I tried to really listen close. You know what it was? Me. I'm a dumbass. It was me. I cracked up laughing so loud that I'm like, oh my God, this was me. I was whistling. And I used to whistle a lot when I was a young lad. And I did not realize I was whistling, and it was just echoing like when you're tripping like that, which was one time in my life. One time in my life. And I never did it again. It was just wrong. Didn't have control. Didn't feel good about it. I didn't think it was great. Yes, I laughed when I found out I was whistling. That was the only positive part about doing that. I thought it was very strange. Granted, you're telling me mushrooms are totally different. What I do with mushrooms, I put them on steak. That's what I do with mushrooms and gravy. Jeannie makes a kick-ass steak and mushrooms and gravy. But we don't trip on the mushrooms. Now, in your day, did you ever do mushrooms? Okay, what makes it different? And you might not have done acid. I don't know. But, I mean, what would make it different?
So acid is a very visual for my day when my experience is very visual, right? So yeah, like walls are breathing. You can see things like literally everything's like moving back and forth. You know, like whatever. Everything is kind of like it's very visual. As for my own experience with mushrooms, it was more so everything kind of had like a really like iridescent-y, like bright color to it. But also it was a very much like it kind of surpassed the ego. So it was actually way more. It really depends on what you do with it, right? So like I remember one time I did it and like I just went out in nature, you know, and I just whatever. And it
Like, I'm sorry, but you live in Florida. So
Yeah.
you went out in nature where?
Out in the woods, you know. And it
Just
was
randomly on your own by
Yeah.
yourself at like 2 a.m?
No, not 2 in the morning. But anyways, I'm not gonna go into all of that. But what it is I really believe it's like, you know, you can use, you know, it to connect with like your higher self. Like you really can, like, because it kind of breaks down the ego. So you can kind of listen to your higher self a little bit better. But do I recommend to use it like if you're going to like a, people use it to go to like music festivals and things like that. There are people who are just using things for the wrong reasons. Like I said, like how ayahuasca is, like people just use things for the wrong reason. Like they
So
trip
wait,
just to trip, not for like an
wait.
experience.
So you're telling me doing mushrooms, there's a right reason to do it.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I would love for you to elaborate on that.
I just told you.
Well, no, you told me that
It can connect you to like your higher self. So basically what it does is it can kind of break down like the ego, like
and
it
it does
breaks
that for
down your
everyone.
mind. I don't think so, no. I'm telling you my own experience. So for me, there's been times where I have taken it and when I was like really, for instance, maybe like my first time I took it and it was just like scary. I was around the wrong people. I felt energy and the people I was with didn't have great energy and I was scared. Like I didn't like it. And then another time that I did it, it was great because it was more so for different reasons. Like it wasn't just to like do it, it was kind of like to tap into something like, I don't know, it's just for more of a spiritual experience type.
I have seen people tripping coming into the store and hovering all around the crystals and rocking back and forth. And you just know when these people are high and in a way just more than smoking a little bit of weed. I don't read anybody that's like that. I won't read anybody that's drunk. I'm telling you, I have seen people in the store under the influence of whatever I don't even know anymore. I would be afraid to do anything in this era than more so than when I was a kid. And it's just absolutely insane.
Yeah, it's scary.
I don't believe that you should trust anyone with that. And tell me one more thing that strikes you as somebody coming into the store and doing something strange, or a reading that you've had that somebody tried to take charge, or somebody tried to say something crazy.
I mean, I like people come in and be like, no, and I'll tell you straight from the get-go, like, what are like part of whatever you want to call it, you know what I mean? Like being psychic, or I don't know, because I don't really call myself that. What I do know is I say right from the beginning, I say past, present, and future.
You don't know about it,
You
lady.
don't know about it yet. So when people don't like the answer that they're getting, they tend to tell you that you're wrong and everything is
The reading sucked.
and let me do it on my own. And all I say is, okay. If you would like, I'm doing the reading. So if you would like me to finish, I will. If not, then I will take you over to the store and I will give you back your money.
I had a lady say, well, you did the reading and it was really odd. It was like you were looking right through my soul and you knew these really private things. It was very uncomfortable. I'm like, ma'am, that's what we do. I'm going to tell you the things that I see. So tell you the things in your subconscious, tell you the things that are still compartmentalized inside your head. And she's like, well, I found it uncomfortable. She gave me a 3-star review because I was right. And her life was messed up at a younger age, and it just happened to come up. I mean, I did my job. So I called her. I called her. I said, what did I do? And I read her daughter for free again the next day. And her daughter was like, oh my God, this is what I was looking for. So thank you so much. I had just some unanswered questions. I said, then why didn't you ask them at the end, when we give that time frame to be able to do that? So everybody says, and I really hate when they say this. It annoys me. Oh my God, I wish you can do it. I wish I can do what you do. I'm like, no, you don't. You don't. Because, we got to deal with some really difficult people. Most of the people are very nice and they're very sweet.
Not
But
only that, but we already have anxiety going into it.
no doubt. I mean, serious anxiety going into this. You sit in front of somebody for 30 freaking minutes, tell them about their life, be right, okay, for 30
Be
minutes.
right.
And like, so, like, in the beginning, before I start, I am like out of my mind, nervous. Once I start getting rolling, it's a little bit more comfortable. But I have this anxiety. People don't understand. We have to tell you your entire life and make sense for 30 minutes. So somebody that says that they want to do what I want to do, I set a timer for 15 minutes and I put it down. I said, okay, do it. They come into my store telling me they're psychic. So I bring them in here. I said, okay, show me. Ready, go ahead, do it. Well, I can't do it that way. What way can you do it? Well, I have to ask you questions and stuff. Well, a big rule here is, and everybody knows the rule here.
People think that, so there's a difference between reading people and reading spirit.
Well, there's a psychic and there's a medium.
You know?
Reading people is psychic. Mediumship is people that have passed.
But meaning like reading people's body language
That's
reading people's.
That's a cold reading.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's
Yeah.
a difference between reading people, like sitting there and looking at them twiddling their fingers and whatever it might be. Like that's psychology. Like you're reading somebody. Like go to a psychologist. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like.
And people do that. That's why we have that strict thing that you can't ask questions and we can't ask you questions. We just have to tell you everything. So the anxiety on that is even higher. Then I don't read cards, but then take the cards away from the situation. Now you have nobody to blame. All right. So at least if you're, and this isn't degrading towards you in any way.
No, because I do the pen and paper first, and then I bring in cards,
Right.
and that's normally just piggybacking off of
That's just to confirm what you were saying.
pen and paper.
So I had somebody come into me today that I got a reading from Kaylee today and said, did you mentor her or help her in any way? I said, well, yeah. She goes, well, because I can see that she does it very similar to what you do. I said, I'm glad to hear that. And I am. And you know very much how proud I am of you and how you have like made a name for yourself, which is really cool. I do love that. But don't wish that you can do what we do. And don't come into the store and say you're a psychic, because I'll put a test to you and see if you are. Like, there is this dude, the one that comes up and says, can I feel your aura? And he's psychic. And then so I sat him down. He's like, well, I'm not really psychic. I can't do what you do, but I mean, I'm psychic. Like, what does that mean? Like, what is that? Either you're psychic or you're not psychic, or you're intuitive or you're not intuitive, or you're whatever. I don't know. But why do people?
Do they mean like they haven't like they're like psychic, but maybe they have like a gift, but they don't know how to use it? Like, is that?
Well, if that's the case, then there's mentorship kind of things, and
Yeah.
we can do that. But I can't make you psychic. Like people are like, well, can you teach me how to be psychic? No, I can't. I can mentor you how to. I like these shortcuts over the years that I've done. I taught myself how to do those shortcuts, and I can give you those shortcuts. Hence, the pen and paper is, I'm going to say a shortcut in a way, because I would say that you probably would not have done that. And it's almost easier to do it on the pen and paper because there's a storyline behind it. There's a whole story that follows this whole thing, and it makes sense. It really does. It's kind of weird. But do you find it easier when you write it down on a piece of paper versus just sitting here and doing nothing? Not even cards, but just like doing nothing. Writing it on a piece of paper, you can reference back to it. Now, we are allowed to ask questions if we write it down on the timeline first. Because if we write it down on the timeline first, then
It's validation.
yeah, we've already put it out there. That's a validation and confirmation of what I wrote. And they still don't get it until like the end of the reading. They're like, wait a minute. This is this, this is this, this is this. And I just got it. I'm like, what do you? And then I throw something at them. I do, or I tell them, poke their eye in a pen. I tell them that I probably shouldn't do that, huh? I do. I say I'm going to poke my pen. I have to. Because they like, how do you not know? How do you not know these things? Now, we are dealing with somebody who wants to be mentored. And I literally told her, listen to me, don't second guess things. I want you to count on your fingers, and as soon as you told yourself to stop, I want you to stop. For instance, if you say January, February, March, April, May, and you're told to stop at the number 5, and then the number 5 or the month of May can be relevant. But don't second guess it, just say it. You got to understand something. You are not supposed to understand anything that you're saying because it's not you that you're talking about. It's them or the people around them. Do you agree with that? So the lady that we were doing this with, she actually stopped in August. And then she stopped in April. Well, August is my mother's birthday. April is my son's birthday. And she doesn't really know me. She stopped at 2 very important dates to me, just right off the bat. I mean, you have gazillion numbers, right? And she stopped at those 2. And so it's a really slow process. You can't wake up one day and say, okay, this is what I am. This is what I'm going to do.
Yeah, dang, it's taken me like 2 or 3 years.
You looked at the
get to the
freaking phone
point.
to know that? Wait. You looked at the phone to know that it took you 3 years. How does that phone?
I was really looking at the time. I have my sound bath I gotta get set up for.
Oh, the sound bath is canceled today.
No, it's not. It's actually canceled next Thursday.
It's what? It's what? When were you going to tell me this? You can take a concert.
It's a leisure concert.
A what?
It's called Leisure. It's they're great. Check them out. It's a New Zealand band. I like them a lot.
And where are they from?
New Zealand.
No, I didn't mean that. I know. Where is the,
Where's it at?
Yeah.
Miami.
you're going to Miami on Thursday?
Next Thursday.
You're going to Miami
Yes.
next Thursday.
Me and Jordan, yeah. It's our first concert in a long time.
Okay, that's very cute.
Totally forgot.
Okay, but when are you going to Miami?
Thursday morning.
You read on Thursday.
That's what I'm telling you now.
That doesn't work.
That's what I'm telling.
How can you just like tell me now that you're not going to be? There's no readings particularly on Thursday, and there's no sound bath.
Well, you can see that he didn't know. It's me. That was all my fault. Sorry. But I don't have any readings booked for next Thursday. Anyways, so just so you all know, I won't be here next.
What?
Sorry.
Will you be here Saturday?
Yes.
So you're going to stay overnight, most likely,
Yeah,
because
from Thursday to Friday.
okay. You and correct me if I'm wrong. Do you have a dog?
Huh? Yeah.
Do you take your dog with you?
No, we're gonna leave him with a friend, I'm sure. We haven't really figured that out yet.
That's like
But we
just like
normally
she didn't tell
we
me.
normally will ask, yeah, like our friend to watch. If not, I have a friend that does a doggy daycare business, so I'm sure we can board her overnight. Yeah.
Yeah, because I can't leave my dog alone ever.
Yeah.
Like my dog has never slept alone since it's born. To,
I have to get ready for the sound bath.
sound bath's at 5. It's quarter after 4.
You know
It
how
doesn't
many
take
instruments
45.
I have?
No, why don't you tell everybody how many instruments you have?
I don't even know anymore. I'm literally, but I know it takes me like a half hour to set up, and then I need just a little bit of time to ground,
Tick.
and I need to eat. I haven't eaten at all today.
You know, I did.
You did.
Got me a wrap, and there's 2 sides to the wrap. That's twice you did that.
Yeah.
What does that do?
I don't know. Still hurt.
She looks very tired. She really looks very tired right now. I mean, I don't know if she's going to put herself asleep during the sound bath. You want to take a look at that phone one more time?
I have to get ready for the sound bath.
She has to get ready for the sound bath. We are going, everybody, there is a sound bath today between 5 and 6.
It's only like
You will not
45
see
minutes.
You will not see this video until after the sound bath. But
But it won't be the following Thursday, so you could come back on, what's the following Thursday?
I don't know. Not this Thursday, not today, but not next Thursday, but Thursday after that. Do the math. I don't know what it is.
It'll be this Thursday, because you'll see it after tonight, so it won't be this Thursday, but it'll be next Thursday.
But I wanna. WANNA. I wanna. That is an African phrase. Wanna. I wanna. Boss wanna. So the clocks, they get moved this weekend.
Saturday.
What do you think? Wait, I'm sorry. How old are you now, Kaylee? So anyway, you have to turn the clocks
My brain to work.
ahead, so you lose an hour's sleep.
Great.
No, why don't you just go to bed an hour early? But it gets darker later. Isn't that exciting? She's starting to get a little violent. I think she's hangry. That's what
And I have to be peaceful.
I must pretend to be peaceful during my sound healing, or else I will punch everybody in the head.
I do need to ground, though.
All right, then we're going to go. Let her ground. See you guys later. Have a blessed day. Say goodbye. All right, goodbye.